TV show The Great British Menu, Chef Alex Green created some dishes that had to be seen to be believed, including an edible book. That's right, a book which instead of reading, you actually eat. As I was visiting Belfast already, I felt compelled to sample his food firsthand. Epic Restaurant has a modern classic decor, and whilst fine dining, the atmosphere was relaxed. Things began with a canapé served in a cloche. This morsel of polenta, truffle and parmesan was a rich salty delight, and the crunchy exterior contrasted perfectly with the soft interior. My first course was a langoustine tartare, the delicate fish working in harmony with an intense tomato consommé. There was also an aniseed afterkick provided by the accompanying fresh basil. As I expected at a Michelin star restaurant, the table was provided with freshly baked bread, still warm from the oven. The darker bread was made with stout, which gave it a deep flavour, which whilst bitter, also had a sweetness. It was decorated with seeds, which gave an enjoyable crunch. The white bread was more savoury and uniform in its flavour, but still delicious. The choice of 2 types of butter was very clever. The main course was a Glenarm short-form beef, served with a rich beef fat jus and sprouting broccoli. A portion of chap was served on the side, which is a traditional Irish mashed potato, which has been elevated with milk, butter and spring onions. The finale was a lemon tart. It was reminiscent of the Sicilian Amalfi lemon tart, which the Michelin star inspectors fell in love with at London restaurant Murano. The lemon curd had the right balance of sharpness and sweetness. The pastry was perfectly baked, no soggy bottoms in sight, buttery and crumbly. The vanilla ice cream and freshness provided by the raspberries were a perfect accompaniment. If I could sum up my dining experience at Epic in one word, it would be wow. If I could use 2 words, it would be wow, wow. It really is that good. In a post-lockdown world, whilst many restaurants and shops had reopened, many had decided to remain closed. So with this in mind, my options were limited a little. However, I was pleased to see that the pub I had researched that serves traditional Irish cuisine was still open for business. Reviewed the menu, looks like a bit of a winner, lots of classical dishes on there. I think I know what I'm going to order, just sitting and waiting now. I decided to kick things off with the famous Guinness and beef pie. Oh, okay, brilliant. That's it, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Brilliant. Very tender meat, just falls apart. Rich sauce, obviously the richness of the Guinness coming through there. Buttered carrots, nice little bit of salt seasoning on the greens as well. Good first impression. Of course you've got to wash it down with this. Now that's going out there. Pint of the black stuff, or in my case the transparent stuff. Good, good. For dessert, there was only ever going to be one option, and that was the Stout Sticky Toffee Pudding. The moment has finally arrived. Here it is. It's a proper cake. It's a proper cake right there. It's quite dense, quite intense. The stout gives it that extra depth of flavour. Almost sort of like a black treacle, sort of slight bitterness to it. And then the offset with the sweetness of the ice cream is fantastic. Love it, look at that. It's got that richness there of the pudding and the ice cream. A little bit of nutrition stuck on there as well, fantastic. One of my 5 a day. McDonald's opened its first restaurant in Belfast in 1991 and now in fact employs more than 2,500 people locally. Given this restaurant chain had now had a presence in the city for nearly 3 decades, I felt it appropriate to sample the menu and see what they had to offer. This particular type of cuisine has been around for a while, so it's well established. It is an international favourite, so I thought it would be rude not to check it out, so I did. One of the things I like to do is to explore the menu, because what you'll notice when you travel is that different countries put their unique twist on the classic menu. So for example, when you go to Switzerland, you have the option of having potato rosties, mini potato rosties, instead of French fries. When I was in Thailand, you have the option to have a pineapple pie rather than an apple pie. In India, you could have a chicken Maharaj burger instead of the Big Mac, because of course Hindu country don't eat beef. So I was quite optimistic when I went in there. You know, it's quite spacious inside, touch screens, very modern. Certainly at the upper end of the scale for how impressive a McDonald's establishment can be. So that was very good. Seemed to be well organised as well with the one-way system because of COVID. But when I was going through the menu, I tried so hard. I explored it from top to bottom, trying to find whether there is a unique Northern Ireland twist on any of the dishes. And I failed to find any. So what I've gone for is just a couple of classics, maybe not mainstream classics, but classics nevertheless. So I'll show you what we've got. So just a couple of little things, because I've actually had my lunch already. So first thing I've gone for, these carrot sticks. First one I say is they're already peeled, so that's very convenient. You don't have to get your utensils out to scrape off the skin, it's already done for you, so let's just dive in. Good crunch. Bit of sweetness, which is nice, what you associate with carrots. Crunchy but succulent, which is exactly what you want from a carrot. So if you're a bit tired of French fries and you want to have something a bit more healthy, then these could be an option. Only 34 calories in a bag, whereas French fries, depending on what size you get, are in the region of 10 times the number of calories, maybe more. So you could be having these and saving a few inches on the waistline. Now, the second item I picked up is a bit of a classic. It's a classic that your average McDonald's frequenter possibly overlooks, because I think what I find based on experience is most people go in there and they go for a meal. Burger of some description, French fries or maybe carrot sticks on the side with a drink. Most people overlook dessert. We're not going to be doing that here today, guys. We are definitely not going to be doing that today. So let's see what the apple pie in Northern Ireland is like. What I like about this one is it's warm. I find sometimes, I guess it depends the time between it's cooked to the time it's being served, and obviously the time it's being eaten. But historically what has happened for me is it's been so hot, you bite into it and the filling almost scalds your tongue, which is an unpleasant sensation. Here, the temperature is more warm rather than hot, which means it's still nice, because it's nice having a nice warm dessert, but you can enjoy the filling without having your tongue scalded, which is a big positive. So the next day, I made my way from Belfast to Coleraine, because the plan was to visit the Giant's Causeway. And part of my motivation was to do the famous coastal path. The coastal area of Northern Ireland is famed for its fish and chips, so I took this opportunity to sample this. Been to here. Nice bit of cod. So what do we think? Nice bit of cod. It's got the right amount of moisture in it, so that means it's not overcooked, certainly not under as well, it is cooked through.
good portion. Happy with the fish. The chips are decent, however, a few of them are overcooked. So, for example, look at this one. This one I spent a bit too much time in the fryer. So, overall, good, but not exceptional.
It was my final day in Belfast, and I thought it appropriate to make sure that I experienced the famous Northern Irish breakfast. So now, back in Belfast here, just waiting for the breakfast. Kind of got the whole cafe slash restaurant to myself, which is quite nice. Decided to go for the vegetarian option on this occasion. Now I want to talk quickly about condiments. This is, if you're from the UK you'll know what this is. If you're not from the UK you might be thinking, what's that red stuff? Well, what it is a tomato based sauce, commonly mixed in with a bit of vinegar, sugar, salt, and also there's some herbs in there, in brackets, contains celery, so a little bit of nutrition in there. It's very common in the UK, eating with chips, breakfasts. In fact, some people have it with pretty much every savoury meal. I'm going to have a little dollop on it on my breakfast here. And in case you're wondering, it does have a very prominent tomato flavour, as you'd expect, because tomato is the primary ingredient in this. Just tuck in. Potato bread. If you've had potato bread before, I think the primary ingredients have got to be potato and flour. It's a lot softer than like a regular bread, and I think they've got the right ratio here because the potato flavour does come through. It's slightly sort of glutinous in its texture, and you know, potatoes go fabulous with eggs and other breakfast items, so I think a good addition to the dish. Soda bread is a staple of Irish cuisine and traditionally is made with flour, baking soda, salt and buttermilk.
Let's try a bit of the soda bread. Nice crunch. It's, I guess, I'd say less dense than a regular sort of breaded loaf. I guess because of the soda in there. It's quite light. It's been toasted. I don't know whether it's grilled or toasted, but it's crispy on the outside, light and fluffy on the inside. And as you'd expect, breakfast, you know, bread goes fantastic with eggs. It's a staple of the Irish breakfast. That combined with the potato bread, combined with the eggs and the other elements, works well. Eggs, tomato, beans, it's going down really well actually. It probably is, compared to the fish and chips and the curry, it is the most nutritious meal I've had for over 24 hours now, so really enjoying it.
I had one item left on my gastronomic adventure of Northern Ireland, and that was to visit the bakeries, as there were some famous bakery treats that I needed to try. You may associate custard egg tarts with Portugal, but Ireland also make them as well, the difference being a short crust pastry is used rather than phyllo pastry. The pastry was well baked and the filling was sweet and delicious. This pineapple tart is sometimes known as a pineapple cream. It's a very big staple of Northern Irish tray bakes, and it features crushed pineapples and whipped cream. For me personally, the pineapple filling was a little bit on the sweet side. 15s are arguably the most famous tray bake of them all in Northern Ireland. The reason why they are called that is because they require 15 of each ingredient, namely digestive biscuits, marshmallows, glacier cherries, condensed milk and desiccated coconut, and they are absolutely delicious.